Hello everyone, I am Shinjini Bansal and I welcome you all to Vox Peritus, which is a podcast initiative taken by students and faculty of law of Manipal University, Jaipur. Today we have with us Mr. Sumant Batra, who is an expert in the field of insolvency and bankruptcy in the field of law. Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Sir,
afternoon.
this is a podcast. This is a series of Vox Peritus, and it is an initiative taken by students and faculty of law, Manipal University. So, how was your experience with the students today, and how was your interaction?
Well, I love talking to the students. I love interacting with them. And for me, I always look for an opportunity to be able to make a visit to any of the campuses where I get to meet the students. The unfortunate part only is that I only end up talking to them one way. I, in fact, want to do more as a two-way talking where I can also listen to them, I can hear them, because there's so much to learn from them as well, and not just spend the time sharing only my experience with them. So I hope next time when I come to the university here, I would be able to spend more time interacting with them rather than as I did today, which is just a 1.5 hour lecture. So I look forward to coming back again.
Thank you so much, sir. So, delving into the more of intricacies of law and insolvency and bankruptcy, given your experience in insolvency law across different jurisdictions, how do bankruptcy law vary internationally?
So uh, at every level globally, in each jurisdiction, there are some common principles of insolvency law which are based on global standards and established economic legal uh, principles. Those one would find invariably the same. The variation that exists is at two levels. The first is the level of policy choice. Many jurisdictions, such as US, Japan, prefer a debtor in possession law, where the debtor, that is the promoter, continues to be in possession and in management of the enterprise, even if it is an insolvency, and also is offered the first opportunity to present a plan for restructuring of that enterprise. In other countries, there are what we call as creditor in control approaches of different kinds, like in UK, like in India, even in Singapore, Australia, where the lenders call the shots once a company goes into insolvency, often displacing the promoters or the management from uh, a new management or an independent insolvency professional. There is a third kind of variance that is now coming, which is a hybrid of the two, where the lenders get to decide whether, in a particular case, they want to displace the management and take control, or they are happy with the promoters continuing in management and presenting a plan. The second layer of variation that comes in many jurisdictions is because of the local, what we call as municipal law, which is a public policy of that country, which determines how the various approaches to insolvency will happen while trying not to deviate from the global principles. These could include, for example, how the workmen will be paid, the employees will be paid, the government dues will be paid in the event of an insolvency, bankruptcy, or liquidation. So this is how um, globally the uniformity and variation works.
Right. Sir, in today's volatile economy, many businesses are struggling to stay afloat. What key strategies would companies consider before filing for bankruptcy?
Well, the companies face insolvency because of various reasons, including one that you just mentioned, which is factors in economy, which you call can often be volatile. We've seen many such in the recent history, global recession of the 20s. Then we saw the world wars. Then we saw also in more recent history the Asian financial crisis of the 90s, late 90s. Then we saw 2008, the Lehman Brothers issue. Then we saw the COVID in 2020, December onwards. And of course, we are seeing some of the turbulence now, which is not really um, something that has manifested into something more uh, as a crisis or something which will have an impact. Yes, at the moment it is volatile, but we don't know how it will eventually impact the businesses. But usually the strategies happen, to answer your question, at three levels. At the first level, it is at the policy level, at the state, the establishment that approaches. So, for example, as the tariffs are being announced, the countries by the US, the countries around the world are at the moment thinking as to how to deal with those and whether it will have impact on the businesses that will have to deal with those tariffs. And therefore, some remedial or corrective measures are taken, call them as preventive measures. That is that's the topmost layer of the pyramid. The second level of response happens from the corporates themselves, because they also have to then start taking measures to adjust to these timings. Not necessarily only from the point of view of insolvency, because insolvency is a very extreme step. But to deal with any distress that might happen during this period, to deal with the economic impact of those tariff or other such similar measures that are being announced or may get announced or in any other situation may occur. And the third, of course, is the role of the professionals, the advisors, because they are the ones who actually then prepare the strategies, especially restructuring experts, to turnaround experts. So it is the effort of all these three. Now, as of today, I have not really seen as this reaching a level where people are thinking from the point of view of insolvency. At this point in time, I think the attention is as to how to overcome the challenges these tariff, which of course has been suspended for 90 days, as you know, paused is what is being used as a word by the US president, is going to impact their business plans, business decisions, etc., and the balance sheet at the end of the day. And they will also look at what support comes from the local governments, uh, what the professionals advise. And I think it is only in the times of the next 3-4 months that we will get to see how it is shaping out. It's too early at this point in time to say that people are already thinking from the point of view of insolvency.
Right. So, with the rise of cryptocurrency, decentralized finance, and digital lending platforms, how is insolvency law adapting to financial distress in the digital era?
Well, you're right. I mean, I think this is a very important question, because while many of the countries where cryptocurrency have been used, they have seen cryptocurrency frauds, failures of the cryptocurrency companies, exchanges. A lot of issues have come up. We have seen legal interventions, policy interventions, regulatory interventions. We have seen jurisprudence come up. In India, as far as the cryptocurrency is concerned, barring the fact that there may have been some investors in India who may have been the claimants in some of these insolvencies around the world, we haven't really seen much traction there. So that I don't think is really a concern for India. But yes, the other two that you mentioned, one is you're talking of asset light companies, where the companies don't really have uh, physical assets. Their assets are technology or the digital infrastructure, and they are invariably involving enterprises which may be in different parts of the world. Their headquarters may be anywhere, The gateways of payments may be in India. Their biggest consumer base may be in India. And if they are impacted, then there is a problem. I think the world has been talking a lot about that. We have seen big discussion happening globally. India has been paying attention to that. Unitroid recently uh, modified their law and on the private contractual law, the uh, aspects of digital uh, assets, retrieving, recovering, sale, possession, handing over of all those has also been discussed, not as much in the context of insolvency, but generally as a part of the contracts. But yes, in the context of insolvency as well. That law has since been is now in the public domain, and gradually, I think it has been approved by the General Assembly as well, and gradually, it would start sort of seeing itself coming into the domestic laws of the many countries, and so will it in India. Although Indian law, I believe, IBC and our laws otherwise are quite capable of interpreting our existing provisions in the light of what you see in the Unidroit uh, version, as well as other jurisprudence, to interpret in such a way where we don't even probably need to make any changes in law. But yes, our approaches to insolvency resolution will have to differ, given the fact that most of the companies going forward may be asset light companies.
So I think our viewers would want to know how has your journey been throughout your years in practicing law and after that as well.
Well, I think my life has been like an open book. I'm sure many of you would have read it. Many of you um, would find bits and pieces here and there. If I were to describe my journey in a few words over the last 30 years, it has been obviously very successful. But more importantly, I think what really matters is that it has been also very accomplished. And there is a big difference in being successful and being accomplished. Success is something that we all aspire in our youth, in our young age, because our aspirations are linked with our success. We want to all drive a good car, go on good holidays, wear good clothes, eat well, and buy a good home. And many of you even, in fact, want to buy a yacht or an aircraft, helicopter. So you need to be successful, successful enough to be able to make money, to be able to sort of uh, fulfill your dreams. But it is not success that at the end of the day which will give you um, a closure. What would ultimately matter at the end of the day is that you feel that are you are you also as accomplished as successful, which means that, simply speaking, it is my interpretation that all the time when you were growing as a professional, rising up the ladder, did you leave the human in you behind, or did you take the human in you along with you? And if you took the human in you along with you while you were climbing up, which means that you did as a professional also what a human expects you to do, which is be compassionate, thoughtful, think of the others, share your knowledge, be humble, modest, um, think of the society, think of the people, think of those who have given you opportunities, and therefore give opportunity to the others as well. Be a leader in a true sense. It is only then that you feel that your success is meaningful. So, if I were to therefore describe the answer to your question in my way, it doesn't matter what milestones I've seen in life, what I've accomplished, what I've reached, my various accolades I've earned, awards, recognitions. All these are, of course, very something that I feel very proud of. But I feel uh, that what I'm doing today and I'm able to do today is because I think I did not allow the human in me to leave, to be left behind or to stay behind while I was growing as a professional. And that is something which I think at the end of the day is what matters, uh, and not just only success. But not that success doesn't matter. All of us must get success. It is very important. It's important for your parents, for your grandparents, for your family, for your village you live in, town you live in, everywhere. Your community, your friends. Make yourself proud, but never forget the person who you are.
Thank you so much, sir, for the podcast.
Thank you.